Today we are going to talk about clinical manifestation and diagnosis of infective acute diarrhea. So let's begin with clinical manifestation of infective acute diarrhea. Clinical manifestation of infective acute diarrhea is basically divided into two groups. First is clinical manifestation of infective acute viral diarrhea, and second is clinical manifestation of infective acute bacterial diarrhea. So let's begin with clinical manifestation of infective acute viral diarrhea. So first one is viral diarrhea. So when we talk about the clinical manifestation, हम लोग क्या बात कर रहे हैं इसके clinical manifestation के बारे में. So when we talk about the clinical manifestation, the first and most important clinical manifestation is their onset. The onset of viral diarrhea is rapid onset. What does it mean? Onset तो हर तरह के acute diarrhea का rapid ही होता है, but when we compare the onset of viral diarrhea as compared to the bacterial diarrhea, the onset of viral diarrhea is much rapid as compared to the onset of bacterial diarrhea. So first is the rapid onset or rapid occurrence. Rapid onset. So first one is the rapid onset. Second, viral diarrhea produce the large amount of watery stool with less amount of stool content. It means if the patient is suffering from viral diarrhea, the diarrhea is characterized by large amount of watery stool. Large amount of watery stool with minimum stool content. Now what happened due to the production of large amount of watery stool? Basically, in case of viral diarrhea, patient is suffering from deficiency of water, and deficiency of water creates some clinical condition like dehydration, like hypotension, like shock, like electrolyte disturbance, and this electrolyte disturbance is basically hypokalemic alkalosis. So this is the second characteristic of viral diarrhea. Now third characteristic. What? Viral diarrhea is persist for 1 to 3 days. It means clinical duration of this type of diarrhea is very short. So it persists for 1 to 3 days. Now the fourth point related to the viral diarrhea is its recovery. When we talk about the recovery of viral diarrhea, so in most of the cases viral diarrhea is self-recovered. It means it does not require a specific type of treatment. एक्सेप्ट द रिप्लेसमेंट ऑफ फ्लूइड एंड इलेक्ट्रोलाइट। मतलब कोई भी पेशेंट अगर वायरल डायरिया से सफ़र हुआ तो वो मोस्ट ऑफ द केसेस में खुद ब खुद ठीक हो जाता है, लेकिन और मोस्ट ऑफ द केसेस में उसको कोई स्पेसिफिक ट्रीटमेंट भी नहीं देना पड़ता है। लेकिन सिर्फ एक चीज़ उस पेशेंट में करना पड़ता है कि जो फ्लूइड और इलेक्ट्रोलाइट उसका लॉस हुआ है उस फ्लूइड एंड इलेक्ट्रोलाइट को हम लोग रिप्लेस करते हैं। तो यहाँ हम लोग बोल सकते हैं क्या, नो स्पेसिफिक ट्रीटमेंट एक्सेप्ट रिप्लेसमेंट ऑफ फ्लूइड एंड इलेक्ट्रोलाइट। तो रिकवर्ड ये कैसे हो जाता है, इसको हम लोग बोल सकते हैं सेल्फ क्योर है ये इन मोस्ट ऑफ द केसेस। So in most of the cases it is self cure. So this is all about the clinical manifestation of viral diarrhea. After that हम लोग देखेंगे clinical manifestation of the bacterial diarrhea. So clinical manifestation of bacterial diarrhea is basically divided into 8 group depending upon the causative बैक्टीरिया। मतलब कौन सा बैक्टीरिया कौन डायरिया को कॉज करता है, इस बेसिस पर क्लिनिकली बैक्टीरियल डायरिया को हम लोग 8 ग्रुप में डिवाइड कर देते हैं। फर्स्ट वन इज द स्टेफाइलोकोकस ऑरियस डायरिया, सेकेंड वन इज द बैसिलस सीरस डायरिया, थर्ड वन इज क्लॉस्ट्रीडियम परफरेंजियस डायरिया, फोर्थ वन इज क्लॉस्ट्रीडियम बोटुलिनम डायरिया, फिफ्थ वन इज द Salmonella diarrhea, sixth one is the Shigella diarrhea, seventh one is the Vibrio cholera diarrhea, and the last one is the Campylobacter jejuni diarrhea. So let's start with this type of diarrhea along with their clinical manifestation. So the first one is Staphylococcus aureus diarrhea. Staphylococcus aureus diarrhea. So first point is source of this type of diarrhea. First is the source, how this diarrhea arises. First is the source. So when we talk about the source of this type of diarrhea is basically arises due to contaminated food and water. Now when we talk about the clinical features of this type of diarrhea, so second one is clinical features. So first one, within the clinical feature, first one is incubation period. When we talk about the incubation period of this type of diarrhea is 2 to 6 hours. Now next to the incubation period is nature of disease. So the disease is characterized by vomiting, diarrhea along with dehydration. When we talk about the recovery of this type of diarrhea, So recovery of this type of diarrhea is usually rapid. So this is all about the clinical manifestation of Staphylococcus aureus diarrhea. Next to Staphylococcus aureus is Bacillus cereus. So हम लोग बात करते हैं नेक्स्ट इज द Bacillus cereus diarrhea. So when we talk about the second one, that is Bacillus cereus diarrhea. So first is the source of this type of diarrhea. So contaminated food and water is the source of this type of diarrhea. But the culprit which is present in contaminated food and water is resistance to what? Is resistant to boil and heat. Now after that, when we talk about the incubation period, the incubation period of this type of diarrhea is 1 to 6 hours. And nature of disease is characterized by vomiting along with diarrhea along with dehydration. And the recovery of this type of diarrhea is again rapid. So this is the second clinical manifestation of second type of bacterial diarrhea, that is Bacillus cereus diarrhea. Now the third bacterial diarrhea is Clostridium perfringens diarrhea. So the third one is Clostridium perfringens. So first one is the source of this type of diarrhea. So contaminated food and water is the source of this type of diarrhea, and culprit present in this contaminated food and water is resistance to boil and heat. Now when we talk about the incubation period, the incubation period of this type of diarrhea is 8 to 20 hours. Now this type of diarrhea is characterized by diarrhea along with abdominal cramp. Diarrhea along with abdominal cramp. Now when we talk about the recovery of this type of diarrhea usually recovered in 2 to 3 days. 2 to 3 days. So this is all about the clinical manifestation of third type of bacterial diarrhea, that is Clostridium perfringens. Now the fourth type of bacterial diarrhea is Clostridium botulinum. Clostridium botulinum. Now when we talk about the clinical manifestation of Clostridium botulinum, so first is the source. Source is here, the source is contaminated can and bottle food, and the culprit which is present in this contaminated can and bottle food is resistant to heat and boil. To boil and heat. Now one additional specificity of Clostridium botulinum is that it can germinate in anaerobic condition. So it means in the contaminated can and bottle food, it can germinate in anaerobic condition also along with aerobic condition. Now when we talk about the clinical features, first is the incubation period, and the incubation period of this type of diarrhea is 24 to 36 hours. And when we talk about the nature of the disease, disease is characterized by brief diarrhea along with gut paralysis. And this gut paralysis is usually arises due to neuromuscular blockage. Now after that, when we talk about the recovery of this type of diarrhea, so the recovery of this type of diarrhea is usually 10 to 14 days. So this is the third type of, this is actually the fourth type of bacterial diarrhea. Now after that, the fifth type of bacterial diarrhea is Salmonella diarrhea. So let's talk about the Salmonella diarrhea. Fifth one is the Salmonella diarrhea. So when we talk about the Salmonella, clinical manifestation of Salmonella diarrhea, first one is the source. The source of this type of diarrhea is what? Contaminated food and water. Source of this type of diarrhea is contaminated food and water. Now when we talk about the incubation period of this type of diarrhea, the incubation period of this type of diarrhea is 12 to 24 hours. Here the incubation period is 12 to 24 hours. Now this type of diarrhea is characterized by, when we talk about the nature of disease, the disease is characterized by what? Disease is characterized by diarrhea along with vomiting. Along with vomiting. Now when we talk about the recovery of this type of diarrhea, so the recovery of this type of diarrhea is, recovery period of this type of diarrhea is 2 to 5 days. Usually this type of diarrhea is recovered in 2 to 5 days, but it may take up to 14 days or 2 weeks. So this is all about the fifth type of diarrhea, that is Salmonella diarrhea. After that, the next type of diarrhea is, next type of bacterial diarrhea is a Shigella diarrhea. Next one is the sixth one, and the sixth one is Shigella diarrhea. So when we talk about the Shigella diarrhea, the source of this type of diarrhea is contaminated food and water. Now when we talk of the incubation period of this type of diarrhea, the incubation period is what? Incubation period is 1 to 4 days. Now after that, when we talk about the nature of disease, so here disease is characterized by three important characters. First one is acute diarrhea. Along with dysentery-like symptoms. Dysentery-like illness. So basically what happened, Shigella diarrhea is characterized by acute diarrhea, and this acute diarrhea is associated with dysentery-like illness. Now second is, this type of diarrhea is characterized by severe tenesmus. What is the meaning of tenesmus? Tenesmus basically means abdominal pain, lower abdominal pain, which is associated during defecation. So this type of diarrhea is associated with severe tenesmus. Now the third important characteristic of disease is fever, which is associated with abdominal pain. Now after that, when we talk about the stool, or when we talk about the when we talk about the diarrhea, or when we talk about the diarrhea, it's okay. So when we talk about the diarrhea of Shigella, so this diarrhea is basically characterized by some specific features. What are those features? First feature is this diarrhea is characterized by loose, watery diarrhea. Second, the frequency of diarrhea is more than 10 times per day. This diarrhea is sometimes associated with scanty blood, pus cell, and mucus. So this is some specific characteristic of the diarrhea which is caused by the Shigella, that is Shigella diarrhea. Now after that, when we talk about the recovery of this type of diarrhea, so third one is recovery. So basically the recovery of this type of diarrhea is variable. It's depend upon different individuals. So recovery is variable. So this is all about the clinical manifestation of six type of bacterial diarrhea, that is Shigella diarrhea. Now after that, the seventh type of bacterial diarrhea is Vibrio cholera diarrhea. So seventh one is Vibrio cholera diarrhea. Now when we talk about the source of this type of diarrhea, the source of this type of diarrhea is actually contaminated food and water. Now when we talk about the incubation period of this type of diarrhea, the incubation period of this type of diarrhea lies few hours to few days. Now when we talk about the nature of the disease, so here the disease is characterized by watery diarrhea. And basically what happens, this watery diarrhea is produced due to hyper secretion of fluid and electrolyte. Now due to hyper secretion of fluid and electrolyte, basically the patient suffering from this type of diarrhea having deficiency of fluid, which is clinically manifest as dehydration, second one is hypotension, third one is shock, and fourth one is electrolyte disturbance. So basically what happened, the diarrhea which is characterized in case of Vibrio cholera diarrhea is watery diarrhea. और ये वाटरी डायरिया क्यों होता है? तो हाइपर सिक्रीशन होने की वजह से फ्लूइड का और इलेक्ट्रोलाइट का। अब जैसे ही हाइपर सिक्रीशन फ्लूइड और इलेक्ट्रोलाइट का होता है तो पेशेंट के बॉडी में डिफिशियंसी फ्लूइड का हो जाता है। उस डिफिशियंसी ऑफ फ्लूइड को क्लिनिकली कैसे हम लोग, वो डिफिशियंसी फ्लूइड का क्लिनिकली कैसे दिखता है? तो डिहाइड्रेशन के तौर पे दिखता है, हाइपोटेंशन के तौर पे दिखता है, शॉक के तौर पे दिखता है, इलेक्ट्रोलाइट डिस्टर्बेंस के तौर पे दिखता है। नाउ दिस वाटरी डायरिया इज कैरेक्टराइज्ड बाय पेनलेस. It means it is does not associated with any type of pain during defecation. And second is this watery diarrhea is also called rice watery diarrhea. And after that, this watery diarrhea is sometimes associated with scanty blood. So this is all about the clinical manifestation of the seventh type of bacterial diarrhea, that is Vibrio cholera diarrhea. Now the last type of bacterial diarrhea is Campylobacter jejuni. So the last type of diarrhea is, which is 8-1, Campylobacter jejuni diarrhea. When we talk about the source of this type of diarrhea, so basically the source of this type of diarrhea is animal bowel. Animal bowel, especially the fowl. And another source of this type of diarrhea is contaminated milk. Now when we talk about the incubation period of this type of diarrhea is 1 to 3 days. Now when we talk about the nature of disease is basically characterized by diarrhea along with abdominal pain, along with vomiting. Now here diarrhea may be watery diarrhea or maybe bloody diarrhea. Now after that, when we talk about the recovery of this type of diarrhea, so the recovery of this type of diarrhea occur within 3 to 5 days. So this is all about the different types of bacterial diarrhea and their clinical manifestation. Now after that, what happened? There are some types of diarrhea which is caused by the bacteria is associated with the dysentery-like symptoms. Like the diarrhea which is caused by the Shigella is associated with the dysentery-like symptoms. Now along with Shigella diarrhea, amoebiasis is also associated with diarrhea along with the dysentery-like symptoms. So basically this is all about the clinical manifestation of infective acute diarrhea, which include the clinical manifestation of infective acute viral diarrhea and clinical manifestation of infective acute bacterial diarrhea. Now after that, next is the diagnosis of infective acute diarrhea. So let's start diagnosis of infective acute diarrhea. So then we talk about the diagnosis of infective acute diarrhea. So diagnosis basically involve 3 stages. First stage is clinical history. Second stage is examination. Third stage is investigation. So there are basically 3 stages of diagnosis. Now investigation which is associated with diarrhea are 5 types. So let's talk about the investigation which is associated with the diarrhea. Investigation. So first investigation is blood, leukocytes count, and it include total as well as differential count. Total as well as differential count. Now when we talk about the second one, it is basically the stool examination. And stool examination include 2 types of examination. First is gross examination, and the second one is microscopic examination. Now बेसिकली हम लोग ग्रॉस एग्जामिनेशन में क्या देखते हैं, तो ग्रॉस एग्जामिनेशन में हम लोग देखते हैं स्टूल के अमाउंट को, स्टूल के कंसिस्टेंसी को, स्टूल के कलर को, स्टूल के स्मेल को, अलॉन्ग विद डैट स्टूल के कंटेंट को हम लोग देखते हैं, स्टूल में क्या क्या चीज़ प्रेजेंट है। अलॉन्ग विद डैट हम लोग एबनॉर्मल सेल्स को देखते हैं स्टूल में, फॉर एग्जांपल ब्लड सेल्स को देखते हैं, पस सेल्स को देखते हैं, म्यूकस में देखते हैं। तो ये सब हम लोग ग्रॉस एग्जामिनेशन में करते हैं। माइक्रोस्कोपिक एग्जामिनेशन में क्या करते हैं, तो हम लोग माइक्रोस्कोपिक एग्जामिनेशन में स्टूल में पॉलीमॉर्फ्स को देखते हैं, ट्रोफोजोइट्स को देखते हैं, पस सेल्स को देखते हैं, ब्लड सेल्स को देखते हैं। तो ये सब हम लोग माइक्रोस्कोपिक एग्जामिनेशन में करते हैं। थर्ड वन इज व्हाट, सेरम इलेक्ट्रोलाइट, दैट इज पोटेशियम and sodium, serum electrolyte and blood urea. And fourth one is stool culture, and this stool culture is usually performed to demonstrate which causative pathogen caused the diarrhea. And the fifth one is special investigation for lactose intolerance and malabsorption. And last investigation is what? Special investigation for lactose intolerance and malabsorption. So this is basically all about the investigation which is performed in case of infective acute diarrhea. अब बहुत सारा क्लिनिकल टाइप हम लोग बैक्टीरियल डायरिया का पढ़ें, तो अब हम लोग देखते हैं उन सारे क्लिनिकल टाइप ऑफ बैक्टीरियल डायरिया में किस किस तरह का इन्वेस्टिगेशन हम लोग करेंगे टू डेमोन्स्ट्रेट द पैथोजन. So first one is Staphylococcus aureus डायरिया. तो स्टेफाइलोकोकस ऑरियस डायरिया में बेसिकली हम लोग क्या करते हैं, हम लोग बेसिकली वोमिट एंड स्टूल कल्चर करते हैं. इन्वेस्टिगेशन में क्या करते हैं हम लोग, वोमिट एंड स्टूल कल्चर करते हैं. Now when we talk about the Bacillus cereus, third one is Clostridium. First is Clostridium perfringens and second is Clostridium botulinum. So इन तीनों टाइप ऑफ डायरिया में हम लोग क्या करते हैं, इन तीनों टाइप ऑफ डायरिया में बेसिकली हम लोग स्टूल एंड फूड कल्चर करते हैं इन्वेस्टिगेशन में टू डेमोन्स्ट्रेट द पैथोजेंस. Now when we talk about the fourth one is what? This is actually a third as well as fourth one. So when we talk about the fifth type of bacterial diarrhea, so fifth type of bacterial diarrhea is Salmonella. Sixth one is Shigella. Seventh one is Vibrio cholera, and eighth one is Campylobacter jejuni. So the diarrhea caused by these all type of bacteria is invested by stool culture. So क्या हुआ कि स्टेफाइलोकोकस ऑरियस जो डायरिया का उस किया, तो उस डायरिया को हमने क्या किए, इन्वेस्टिगेट किए वोमिट और स्टूल कल्चर से. फिर बैसिलस सीरस, क्लॉस्ट्रिडियम परफरिंजेस, क्लॉस्ट्रिडियम बोटुलिनम जो डायरिया का उस किया उसको हम लोग इन्वेस्टिगेट किए स्टूल एंड फूड कल्चर से. एंड फाइनली सैल्मोनेला, सिजेला, विब्रियो कोलेरा एंड कैम्पाइलोबैक्टर जेजुनी जो डायरिया कॉज किया उसको हम लोग इन्वेस्टिगेट किए स्टूल कल्चर से. सो दिस इज ऑल अबाउट द क्लिनिकल मैनिफेस्टेशन एंड डायग्नोसिस ऑफ इन्फेक्टिव एक्यूट डायरिया. थैंक यू.